Hey everyone, it's Kat from How to Draw Cool Stuff, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Monet inspired 3D paper sculpture water lily. Several steps. It is a paper craft. The first step is we're going to make a watery background that looks like this. This is actually watercolor with salt that has dried on the wet watercolor to create this little sparkle. It's an awesome technique. Very popular amongst elementary and middle school teachers and high school as well. What I'm doing is just taking a big brush with some liquid watercolor, diluted with a little bit of water, and quickly laying down one flat area of tone, blue for water. I'm going to take a little bit of salt and just sprinkle it somewhat evenly over my paper, and then I'm going to let it dry. Immediately you can see that it starts to get a little bit darker. That is the salt sucking up the paint, but eventually it repels the paint and makes a really amazing sparkle. Great technique for using stars or snowflakes. So I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. Now we're going to work on the lily pad portion. I took a little bit of green watercolor and then a little bit of yellow and painted up this square, which will eventually be a circle for the lily pad, which I'll show you now. I'm going to get rid of this dirty paper because it's covered with watercolor right now. So find a nice circle or freehand one out. I'm going to use this little chocolate chip bucket. Lay it down. Just trace a circle over your dried watercolor paper, or you can just use straight up green construction paper. That works well. You just cut it out. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. This is going to be the lily pad portion of our water lily. And you can leave it a circle if you like, or maybe even cut a little pie slice out of it so it looks like it's an actual lily pad. And then we'll mount it onto our dried watercolor paper with salt sparkles, something like this. A glue stick works well. I'm just going to use a glue gun so I don't have to wait for the drying process, and you won't have to watch me wait, just for the sake of time. So just a couple little dots of glue, and I'm going to throw that down in the center, and then we'll set that aside for now. Next is the petals. So the petals for our water lily, I have 3 templates. We're going to have 3 rings of petals. A large for the outer, a medium for the inner ring, and then a small. So what you want to do is trace out 6 large ones, and I just use these little templates that I found on Pinterest. This is actually a lesson that I saw on Pinterest, and it was so amazing that I had to try it myself and make this video. Everyone seems to really enjoy doing it and loves the result, from elementary to high school and beyond. So right now I just made 3, 1 of each, but you need 6 of each, 6 large, 6 medium, and 6 small, and then you'll cut them out. So I will have 6 large. Are there 6 there? I hope so. Yep. 6 medium and 6 small. And what we're going to do is bring back this picture, and we're going to start gluing all of these on the center in a rotational symmetry pattern. Rotational symmetry is something that is the same all the way around. So I'm just going to put a little plop of glue there. Mirror symmetry, same thing on the opposite side. Having these little rocket ends touch. This looks almost like a rocket or a fish. fan them out, space them equally. Glue guns are the best. Unfortunately, you can't always use them in the classroom, but glue stick is what I would recommend if doing this with an entire class. So there we have our outer rim. Next, medium. Do the same thing. Have them sort of sticking out in between if you can. And then finally, the middle ring with the smaller ones. Even though this is a glue gun and it dries almost instantaneously, you do need to let this sit a moment so it sets. So while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and make the center of the flower, which is just a simple strip of paper. I'm going to cut one long strand of yellow, make some little slits in it. And then what I like to do, which is my little twist on things, that I found the best thing to do, is give it a little fold. Now we're going to try and wrap it up like so, in a little circle. This is making an interesting center where the pistils are. The pistils are the center part of the flower. Seal it with a tiny bit of glue there. I'm just going to put a mess of glue in here just because, make sure it stays. I'm going to plop that down right on the center, give it a little push, and then when it dries we can fan it out a tiny bit. I also like to bend these up just a little so they look like they're popping up off the page. Just a slight little bend. And that's it. This is your super adorable Monet inspired water lily. Perfect for the spring. Looks great on a bulletin board or a display case. I'm having my second graders do these. We're going to put them in a display case so the whole school can enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed that paper craft tutorial. Make sure you pick up your copy of How to Draw Cool Stuff on Amazon or at Library Tales Publishing. See you soon.